This is ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
And you're welcome right here. ABS this morning. Your way to the website and national days. Or around was after the short discussion. Welcome back to the show. It's a press viewer here on the TV, and also you can call down the phone lines. I'll be displayed on the TV set this morning. Make a call and also contribute to what we have on our papers this morning. Quickly, let's start with the stories trending on ABS website this morning. The very first story we have is 2023 federal government reports Simon Ekpa to Finland government. 2023 elections, senatorial rep candidates hold political dialogue, the main debate in Oka. Soludo state result to reposition Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University to international standards. Anambra state government arrests more illegal revenue collectors and touts in the state. Okay, these are the stories we have on our website this morning. Quickly, let's just briefly talk on the Mace debate, the event that happened yesterday here in Oka at Women's Development Center. Yes, the candidates came and, slugged it out among themselves. It was an event that everyone in Anambra should have been part of, because we heard a whole lot, and some of the things they said are for us to listen, know what they have in plans, their vision for themselves if they are actually elected into the office. So it was a collaboration between NUJ, Ratau, Sejub, and Bring It On Africa. They came together and decided that yes, necessary that for the first time we are hosting this kind of event in a successful event here of representatives, candidates, and also they came out yesterday and told us what they have for us, and it also helped to form the the decision of the electorates yesterday. A lot of people got to hear from this man what they have in stock for us. Eventually, they are elected into office. It was a huge success event yesterday. Looking at the other story we have there, Anambra State government arresting more illegal revenue collectors. State, yes, and that is to say that we are a proactive government right here. On the day we had a chat with Mr. Gano, a whole lot of people reported about some people collecting illegal revenues from some house, different parts, OP worker, and so many other places. And brigade, they went into action, and they have arrested a whole lot of people who have been collectors that they collect for the government, and touts who have been harassing people. And we'll say kudos to salute the government, because it is a government that is proactive, and they are listening to the cry over people of the masses. And this is also a warning to all those people that are yet to maybe to join or to still come out as these fake revenue collectors. It's a deterrent. Those people that we are caught. It's time for you to know that touting is not a job. You need to get yourself busy, go and learn one or two skills and see how you can better your life and that of your family. All right, having said that, let's quickly know what we have on the front pages of the national dailies this morning. We are starting with the Sun newspaper this morning. The banner headline in front of the Sun newspaper: shock, anger great Buhari's approval of old 200 naira note. And that's we have right at it. President's new monetary policy has minimized Governor accuses president of moving to destroy APC. Emefiele meets with bank heads, promises immediate circulation of 200 naira notes. Insecurity Peace Summit invites Kano and Ekba. Presidency for Governor Autumn. Stop crying foul. Release stashed naira to Nigerians. PDP APC leaders. UK cautions over spike in criminal activity at banks, ATMs, financial institutions, beef up security. I've delivered on my promises to women and girls. Buhari travels to Ethiopia for AU summit of AFCTA high-level meetings. It's too late for G5 to be Wike. NECO urges defaulting states to pay up 3 billion naira debt, releases 2022 SSCE results. Security agencies to deploy 400,000 operatives for presidential poll. These and more other stories are trending on the front page of the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. The big story, shock, anger, greets Buhari approval of old naira, 200 naira note rather. The president yesterday, addressed the nation. He sympathized with us because of the hardship that was caused by this cash crunch, and he also approved that the 200 naira note will come back into circulation again. That's the old 200 naira note will come back into circulation to be circulating with the new 200 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira note. So it means that the old 500 naira notes and 1,000 naira notes are no longer legal tender. They have lost their status as legal tender, so it can no longer be used to transact businesses. But the old 200 naira will still be circulating until the 10th of April. That is after 60 days. It will cease to be a legal tender in the country. And down there we can also see that one of the riders, the CBN Governor Emefiele, promises immediate circulation of 200 naira notes because he held meeting with the bank chiefs. So I think this will ease some of the pressure on people right now, because people will go to the bank and they will still be paid the old 200 naira notes, and we can still use it to transact our businesses in Nigeria. So that's a good one. But then saying that what it wasn't the right thing. Everyone can say whatever they want to say, but the president has and some Supreme telling us that we can still be using the old naira note. The president, is it good for government with the operation of the judiciary is to take responsibilities as a keeping our fingers crossed, hoping that from now on that they will sort their issues among themselves. Okay, let's also see the National Star newspaper this morning. That's the newspaper we have under review. We lost over 5 billion naira to customers' protests. This is coming from the commercial banks. Emefiele direct bank chiefs to ensure circulation of old 200 naira notes. Overruling Supreme Court order has dire consequences, CDD and orders. Students carpet Buhari for extending use of old 200 naira. 2023 poll, it's time to bring back Tinubu Buhari. US 4,000 Messiahs loot. We see the NNPC this CES G5 leader. This is coming from the stories are trending in the front page national newspaper. I'll still and the transition, banks are crying because we saw some of the things that happened in Benin. where some banks were gutted with fire. Some of the angry customers went to the bank and destroyed some of their facilities. And banks are lamenting now that they have lost over 5 billion naira due to customers' protests. But I think with this declaration from the president, is going to ease up the pressure on the banks, the staff, and also their customers. Okay. Now you can read the page 23 of the National Star newspaper for you to really get the full story of where Tinubu is telling Buhari that it's time for him to pay him back. I mean, that's another big story in the front page of the National Star newspaper this morning. Okay, then again, Wike is saying that it is too late for G5 governors to reconcile with the PDP leadership. Of course, this issue rocking PDP, it has lingered for a while. Well, that's my own opinion. If you ask me if they want to reconcile, they can still reconcile. But I know that not just them, we have other parties that are still having their crisis right now. But then again, that shouldn't distract any of us in the country. I mean, the electorate, and be focused. Remember that all we need to do is to pick up our PVCs. Remember to go out there to vote our conscience on the day of the election. So this shouldn't deter or make anyone to lose focus at this point in time. Okay, let's look at the Punch newspaper again this morning. The Punch newspaper, better days aren't coming soon. Yeah, despair, disappointment after Major General Buhari retired address. Okay, we have a president illegalizes 1,500 naira note, a clash with Supreme Court likely. Governor State Deb Buhari orders citizens to spend all notes. Naira scarcity war. Nigeria buy naira with money. And then up there, Naira redesign plot to score elections and install interim government. This is Makinde receives a Tinubu week article. Police hand over illegal arms and ammunition to NSA. Nigeria's oil output rises by 31 million barrels. OPEC. Lagos killed by policemen and buried. Economic crisis. Man says job losses. Okay, that is what is happening in the country. The last story that we read, because of the economic crisis that we are having, that there could be losses of job, likely in the country. I saw in the social media that some companies, some private companies have already started laying off their staff. I know it is biting hard now, but well, we are all waiting. We have to is coming up on the 25th of this month. That is next week Saturday, presidential election and senatorial everything. Morning design Buhari in order says certain precedent worried his neck to disregard law order legendary. Supreme Court's position remains valid. Lagos AG. Old 200 naira notes have been moved back into circulation. CBN. Buhari insists new cash policy has short and long-term benefits. Then police to deploy 400,000 joint security personnel for elections. Court bars PDP from expelling Governor Autumn. NECO announces release of 2022 SSCE external result. Economic crunch. Naji directs ABAPA to allow consumers stagger meter payment. Don't give power to questionable characters. Dati Baba Ahmed tells NFF. And then U.S. to return $954,000 Alamesia loot. I think we have seen that on almost all the paper that we've reviewed this morning, talking about the loot that will be returned to us. Allah Messiah's loot that will be returned back to the country. Well, that's a good one. Kudos to the U.S. government for, deeming it fit to return such a huge amount of money to the nation. But what we are pleading with the federal government to, use the money to do something that will be profitable for us as a nation. Look for places, sectors that need maybe this money for better productivity and inject the money there so that at the end of the day, as we are rejoicing now that this kind of loot is being brought back to the country, will also positive effect on our economy. Next paper is the Guardian newspaper. Voices trail Buhari's broadcast on return of old 200 naira notes. I think all the papers this morning, and that's it for the Guardian. Have the right on the Buhari against the note of 222 naira, 2.65 trillion naira to be destroyed, and then of 200 notes won't move the needle, insist. But Jamia Miller, Buhari's directive of disregard for rule of law, plot to scuttle election, install interim government, broadcast contemptuous of a Supreme. And then we have a compel APC leaders to release hoarded naira notes. PDP tells Buhari, bank notes 5 billion naira to bank billion naira on facilities, 17 branches touched. Buhari's speech will have direct consequences for 2023 polls. CDD warns. Human rights community poll tips Tinubu to win presidential election. Naira swap, don't postpone election, bow to pressure. CSO wants INEC. WHO wants as Marburg mpox spread across Africa. CUPP identifies attackers of Ugo Chinyere's resident, and we can see there the big story on pages 4, 5, and 24. Countdown to 2023 elections, navigating tension-soaked and violence-prone campaigns. Okay, 3,980 arms, 2,358 ammunition mopped up, and 404,106 personnel for deployment. Okay, these are the stories that are trending on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And if you want to know more on the stories, all you need to do is just to go to a newspaper stand and grab yourself a copy of the Guardian newspaper or other papers that we have actually reviewed this morning. Okay, let's also see other papers that we have. We still have the Daily Trust newspaper. Daily Trust, Naira redesign, Buhari out to truncate democracy. This is coming from Gandhi J. And we still have woman dies in Kano Hospital over payment alert delay. Unbundling railway will not lead to job losses. Minister, 7 northern states owe NICO 2 billion naira registry. 404,106 security personnel for election, IGP. Forced abortion reports, NHRC panel agrees military and rescues women and others. Reporting talks to CP raising opinion polls for presidency in 2023 to go, and these are the stories that trended at the front page of a Daily Trust newspaper. Well, it's quite disheartening that a pregnant woman would die just because of delay in payment, and she actually maybe did the transfer, but we have a delay in the alert, and probably the hospital refused to touch her until they see their money. We saw in the other paper where telcos are saying that they are not the cause of what the failure, network failure that is happening so far. But if they are not the cause of the network failure, they are the people that the network network providers. I wonder who is responsible for that. And because of all this, we've lost a whole number of people. But today we are seeing another loss, a pregnant woman that just died in the hospital. Well, this is time. If we want to go cashless, if we want to, actually take up some of the cultures that we see in the developed country, like cashless policy and all the monetary policy that the CBN have put in place. I think we need to have a synergy between the telecos, the network providers, the service providers, the banks and the commercial banks to see how we have a seamless transaction of, money transfers and then e-payments and all that, so that we don't have issues like this coming up once in a while. All right. Finally, Nigerian Tribune is the next paper that we have this morning. Naira policy broadcast, Speaker MBF Afenifere IPAC orders fall to Buhari. Well, I think a whole lot of people are not happy with this governor's speech. Yesterday, we have, as President orders return of old 200 Naira notes into circulation, insists that the old notes, that is 500 and 1,000 Naira notes, no longer valid. Supreme Court once berated Buhari for overruling it as a head of state, Falana. And commercial banks refuse to open to parts of Kano, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Warri, and Asaba. Take responsibility for your policy failure, Atiku tells APC. Emefiele meet 15 bank CEOs, promises to circulate between 700 billion naira and 800 billion naira by end of February. And then Tinubu in Ibadan presents APC flag to Folari, leads APC chieftain to Makinde, meet Obas. Court stops PDP from expelling Autumn. Federal government, USA sign agreement to return, 954,807 US dollars looted by ex-Bielsa Governor Alamesiya. Retired general, losers of APC gubernatorial presidential primary want interim government. Okay, this is coming from El Rufai. All right, these are the stories trending on the front page of Nigerian Tribune, and also all the papers that we have read out to you this morning. Do yourself good. If you want to know all the details, go and get yourself a copy of all or some of the papers this morning, so that you know the full story, get to read the full story in the inside pages. Well, that's it on Press Review this morning. Thank you so much for being part of it, joining us this morning. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. We're going to take a short break, but we'll see you at the other side. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
The new Milo 3-in-1 Milky and Creamy is truly milky and contains calcium. So, no need to add milk for that rich, creamy cup, which helps to nourish and energize your kids. Milo 3